accountability. In an effort to create an appropriate environment for athletic competition, racial, sexual, or physical abuse warrants immediate removal from the facility without warning. Thank you for your cooperation in this matter and for supporting Sun Belt Conference basketball. And for our fans seated along the court, be careful, remain outside the painted out-of-bounds area. Any interaction with officials, players, or staff that's considered negative will result in removal from the Coliseum. Thank you.
ULM hosts Texas Southern. It's collegeinsiders.com quarterfinal action right now from Monroe, Louisiana. Basketball. Tighten your seatbelts because the quarterfinals of the collegeinsiders.com tournament is coming your way right now. Welcome inside this beautiful building, everyone. The excitement is building. This crowd is going to be electric tonight with Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame coach Mike Vining. I'm Len Rollins. Mike, let's take a look at this Texas Southern team. It's played very well away from home this year. Had a great year in the SWAC, coached by Johnny Jones, some excellent players. One of those is Jeremy Combs, -- scorer, -- rebounder, transfer from LSU.
Player of the year, newcomer of the year in the SWAC. He's done everything for him. He's a tremendous shooter, a very high percentage shooter, goes to the free throw line a lot. He's just an all-around player for him.
Texas Southern has picked up a couple of wins in the first and second round of the tournament. This ULM team got a victory against Kent State and then drew a bye. Travis Munnings was huge in that first round game.
Travis had 28 points. He hit the threes. He took it to the basket. You see here, he was rebounding. He was a Lou Henson player of the year, a player of the game for that first round game.
And indeed, he did a little of everything. You see the trophy award. He's going to accept some congratulations from ULM students and fans. A big, big game for Travis Munnings, who, by the way, has played in more games than anybody in Warhawk basketball history. Deshaun Smith, a big-time scorer from anywhere on the court for ULM.
Leading scorer for the year for ULM, first-team all-conference. He's a great player. He's also the newcomer of the year. He hits a three. He penetrates. He dishes it off. He comes up with steal. He shot the three extremely well. He's averaged 21 points a game for the season.
Well, let's compare some numbers, Texas Southern and the Warhawks.
Well, you see the offense. Texas Southern is averaging 8 and ULM is 78. But you got to look at the field goal, three-point field goal percentage. It's 32 versus 40. Free throws is a big thing. ULM shooting 78, Texas Southern shooting 66%. Rebounding goes to the Tigers. They're 39 and ULM is 33. Steals is another thing. They've come up with 8 and ULM has only come up with 5.8. Blocks is an effect. Turnovers has been big. Now for ULM, they've only had 11 and the Tigers have come up with 15.6.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting lineup. This is a team that is coached by former LSU coach Devontae Butler, Jeremy Combs. Combs is averaging over 17 points and over 9 rebounds a game. He is a locomotive inside. Eden Ewing is a senior at 6'8". Jalen Patterson, a senior at 6'1". Tyrick Armstrong, also in the starting lineup, a guy who averages about 6.5 points a game. So 2 starters averaging in double figures, Combs and Patterson. For the ULM Warhawks, Michael Ertl, a pepper pot backcourt player, averaging about 15 points a game. Deshaun Smith has been the #1 scorer all season long. He's a guy with well over 100 made triples this year. J.D. Williams, perhaps an unsung hero in this lineup for ULM. Travis Munnings, he's been good throughout his whole career at ULM. And Andre Washington is a guy that they count on to get some rebounds and score a few points. A 6'8" junior from Fort Worth out of Hill College. So we are set to go. Texas Southern in the dark uniforms, ULM in white. Let's take a look at quick keys for Texas Southern, Mike.
Well, first of all, they're going to play an up-tempo game. They're going to try to go inside with Combs, and then they're going to limit the three. They're going to defend the three against ULM.
One of the things to watch for is the ability for Texas Southern to rebound the basketball on the offensive and defensive sides. It's a very good rebounding team.
You know, the teams that they've out-rebounded, some stats that I looked at, they're 17-2 for every game that they've out-rebounded the opponent.
So they've out-rebounded 19 opponents, and they have won 17 of those games. Let's look at the ULM keys.
Well, ULM, they've got to stop the transition game. The Tigers push it up the floor. They've got to defend the paint. Just what happened inside right then. They're going inside. They got to defend them. They got to limit the turnovers. They got to make sure they get a good shot every time down the floor.
We were speaking about offensive and defensive rebounding, and Combs pulled off that first offensive rebound. He's at the free throw line. Not a great free throw shooter, a little less than 60%, but the first one is good.
They got inside to him. He made a move. He got the shot. He missed it, but he got it, put it back in, and now he's got the 2 free throws. And the tough part about that is Andre Washington now has got a foul on him, and that's tough for him.
Both of these teams like to get up and down the floor, but ULM for the entire season has had minimal turnovers. For an up-tempo team to average just 11 turnovers a game is sensational. And Michael Erdl, who can score from anywhere on the court, bags the jump shot from the left side. We're tied at 2.
But the thing Michael does so well is he can pull up and shoot. He can take it deep or he can stop short, and he's got a little fadeaway.
Offensive foul called. That one's against Devakio Butler, the 6'5 senior from Atlanta. He has started every game this year, as has Combs.
You know, Butler has really played well since the conference tournament, too. He's averaging in double figures, and he's doing a great job of distributing the ball.
This for 3 from Munnings. It rattles out. Put back. No good for the moment. ULM saves it. Washington had a point-blank range look at it. Another offensive rebound. This one taken off by Williams. So ULM with yet another effort. Look at the ball movement. It cannot be finished, though, by Washington. ULM had 3, 4 point-blank range looks.
All of that
count
inside.
The bucket on the other end as Combs scores, and he's fouled as he hustled down court.
That was what Coach Richard talked about, is stopping the transition. They get it and go with it. Now, ULM was really on the boards. They got a lot of offensive rebounds, but they just couldn't finish with it. And then they get the ball on the other end. Combs goes up with it, scores, and now he's at the free throw line.
And it was Deshaun Smith who was charged with the foul. That's his first. Combs has 4 points early. An old-fashioned three-point play. Make it 5 points early. An old-fashioned three-point play and a couple of free throws. Texas Southern leading 5-2. Combs has all of the Texas Southern points. Erdl has a bucket for ULM. And a foul called as Deshaun Smith gets to the 10. Deshaun Smith is as slippery as oiled okra.
He is that. He is that. The foul's on UNE. Deshaun gets it to the basket, but he's not able to make it. Now, that's about 3 shots they've had right in close range that they have not been able to get go.
If Keith Richard has any hair left, it's turning gray right now.
It is.
Deshaun, like many other of his teammates, is an exceptionally fine free throw shooter, 86%. That's not the best on the team, though. That normally leads a team. But with Erdl on the squad, he's a 91% free throw shooter.
Yeah, they both try to get to the goal and get to the free throw line.
Smith averaging 21.2, 4.5 rebounds. He can go get the ball even at 6'1", and also 4 assists per game. Texas Southern with a 1-point lead. With Coach Mike Vining, I'm Len Rollins. Mike, it would not surprise me a bit to see both of these teams over 90 tonight. It's got that potential as Armstrong bags the 3. The left-hander has made 24 of them now. He doesn't take a lot of them, but he was accurate with that first offering. This is Erdl. He has yet to put it on the floor. Fakes left, dribbles right. Late dish for the slam by Washington. Munnings found his teammate. Washington flushed it.
Yeah, he took it to the defense. Andre saw him and went to the basket, and he was able to finish with it. That was a great pass and a good cut by Andre.
8-6. Tigers by 2 over the Warhawks. Fadeaway 4-footer won't go. Another offensive rebound taken by Combs. Stripped out of his hands by Erdl.
trying to swing the ball around and get it to him. You know, while they're bringing the ball in, with those 2 free throws, Deshaun Smith now is in second place for the season free throws.
He's a guy who gets to the line a great deal and a fellow who finishes at the stripe. We have played 3 hectic minutes. 8-6 Texas Southern. Offensive foul on Munnings. Munnings, the senior from Freeport, Bahamas, calmly hands the basketball to the official. He's a cool customer, Munnings.
He is, and it's tough for him to get offensive foul because he does a lot on defense. Now, I mentioned Deshaun was in 3rd place for free throws made, and he just passed Calvin Nat, so he's now in 2nd place. He's got 169 for the year. Calvin Nat, of course, one of the best players in the history of the state of Louisiana in college basketball. Fadeaway 7-footer is good by Eden Ewing. Ewing, a 6'8" senior from Richmond, Texas, averaging 9 a game and 7 rebounds. He's actually a transfer from Purdue, and we mentioned earlier, they've got about 9 transfers on this team. But in talking to Coach Johnny Jones, they've got 5 new starters from last year. They lost their whole team last year. Mike, on the sideline in Keith Richard, and there you see the ULM coach and Johnny Jones, 2 of the finest gentlemen in the college coaching profession. They are, and they're great. They're great people, and they're great friends. They both grew up around Baton Rouge. Actually, Johnny's from DeRidder, but he played at LSU and then coached at LSU. Munnings at the top, gets it to Williams. He's open from the left side. He takes the 3, slightly long, rebound Ewing. Patterson works it up. He'll take the 3. Missed it left side. Fine rebound by J.D. Williams. Williams bringing it up. Stutter dribble. Gets it over to Munnings. Puts his shoulder down. Backs up. Can't clear the shot over Combs. Well, Combs did a good job of stopping the penetration that time. He got over there, and if Travis had kept going, he would have charged him. ULM getting within 4 feet, but a wild shot by Williams won't go. Fadeaway won't go. The baby hook by Washington came up a little bit short. ULM has had a lot of opportunities in this first 4 minutes right at the goal. They've got him. It looks to me like they're trying to get him off a little hurry. I think those big guys inside has got their attention. They know that they can get up and block some shots, so they're just in a little bit of hurry to get them off. They're going to have to hold on to him a little bit longer and finish the shot. Ewing takes the 3 on line but long. Ertl sails in for the rebound. We have played 5 minutes in the first half. Quarterfinal action. Look at Ertl, but missed it. Another offensive rebound by Washington. 3 ball up, no good by Deshaun Smith. ULM continues to have almost point-blank range opportunities. These are high percentage shots, and they're not going down. That's shots they've hit all year long. I think that's the 5th shot they've missed inside the lane. It is. 5 in the paint, close to it. So timeout for Coach Richard. We'll take a timeout right here with 14:28 to go in the first half. Texas Southern out to a 10-6 lead. Quarterfinal action in the College Insiders Championship Tournament.
Because we get it. Some things are bigger than banking.
You've got to have a flat belly to do that. I would not qualify.
We're both in the right place.
This place is rocking tonight. A couple of thousand students on hand. Texas Southern 3 for 8 from the field. ULM has missed 5 shots deep in the paint and only 2 for 11 in the early going.
And they're 0 for 4 from three-point line, and that's something that they live off of, is that three-point line.
Texas Southern in the dark uniforms. Down to Combs again. He's fouled as he misses, but he'll go to the stripe. And so far, Texas Southern has been very clever and often getting the ball down low to Combs.
You see, they lobbed it over Tyree's head, and he goes up with it, and Tyree scrapes him on the way down.
Tyree White replacing
Andre Washington
who had 2 fouls.
Yeah, he's got 2 fouls. So now You know, they'll be watching this, and you can bet Johnny White will be going in. They'd be going in there whether they had any fouls or not, but they're really going in there. But Combs is the go-to person.
Tyree White wears number 10 for ULM, a 6'7" junior from St. Louis.
You know, Combs, Tyree was trying to front him to keep the ball out of his hand from a direct pass, and he got too far in front of him, and Combs did a great job of locking him, and they made the pass.
And Combs, who has not been a really good free throw shooter, is 5 for 5 tonight. 7 points for him to lead everybody. He's got 7 of Texas Southern's 12. ULM needs a bucket here. Almost threw it away, but got the save. Smith for 3, a little flat. Offensive rebound attempt by Munnings, but he couldn't grab it. Here comes Texas Southern looking to stretch a lead, which right now is 12-6.
You know, the Tigers are used to playing on the road. Matter of fact, I think they're 12 and 10 on the road itself.
And they've picked up a couple of road victories in this tournament. There's another offensive rebound. That one grabbed off by Texas Southern. That was 1-on-3 inside, and Texas Southern came up with the offensive rebound.
Well, I think ULM, but some of them was waiting on somebody else to get it.
Eden Ewing with a pivot move. Lays it in.
Now, he did a good job then. He stayed on the floor. See, the officials have got a problem.
Entering for the Tigers of 12, John Jones.
John Jones, Coach Jones' son's coming in now, number 12.
He's a 6-foot sophomore from Baton Rouge. He's had 19 starts. Armstrong defending Ertl. Texas Southern out to an 8-point lead. ULM looking to find some offensive rhythm. Munnings with that spin move. He faked left, he went back right and deposited it.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something inside. You know, he missed his early 3. That's a sign. Usually if he hits it, he really gets off to a good start. But he's going to have to make something happen inside.
Munnings is among 4 ULM starters who average double figures. He's coming in at 8-15 a game. Williams takes the 3. No good. Rebound by Patterson.
That's they're 0 for 6 right now from 3-point range, and that's a shot that they usually look for and have lived by.
And a traveling violation is called against John Jones. Jones averages nearly 8 off the bench, and he's second on the team with 61 made triples this year.
Yeah, he was looking for that skip pass. He wanted to get it up, and he just couldn't get his feet still.
There's Papa Johnny Jones.
Coach Richard's called a play for Ertl now to set it up.
This is Deshaun Smith. Back to the top for Munnings. Smith takes the quick release 3, in and out. ULM has been icy from beyond the arc.
Now he set that shot up for Deshaun. He come off of the screen.
Ertl takes that defensive rebound away from Ewing.
He just went up over his head and took it away from him.
Ertl rips one, and this crowd comes to life. It had been subdued by multiple missed shots. Michael Ertl, 78 triples on the season now. Let's take a timeout with 11:36 to go in the first half.
All right, fans, time for the
right now, it's 14-11. A big bucket by Ertl right here closes the gap.
In Monroe.
We put you inside the ULM huddle on the sideline with Keith Richard calling some plays in there, encouraging his team. Quarterfinal action.
You know, Coach Richard will be talking to him, you know, just take the shots that you get. You'll get in our rhythm. They'll eventually fall. If you take our shots, the ones that we work on every day, as he tells them, then they'll eventually go for them.
Well, that three-point shot by Ertl right before the timeout was the first made 3 for ULM.
Well, I know they had some pretty good looks. Deshaun had really had a couple, and I know he had called a play for Deshaun, and it just didn't go for him.
Left-handed looper won't go. Tip attempt won't go. First miss by Armstrong. ULM trying to get it going. Contact in the lane. Williams scores, but will they count it? They will not.
Number 3 for the Warhawks, J.D. Williams. His first foul, 16 fouls.
It looked like there was a stationary defender, and an offensive foul was called against the Warhawks.
JD was trying to get to the basket, and he just didn't pull up quick enough.
That's his first. Washington has been on the bench for a while with 2 fouls. A long 3 in the air from Jones. Off the mark, no good. This is Munnings, lobs it up, and the flush. That will ignite the crowd. Munnings with a perfect lob on the run to Williams.
That's what the crowd was waiting on, something to cheer about. You know, they did a good job of getting the ball out and getting it to him.
But a quick counter on the other end is Eden Ewing with a quick release. Baseline jumper. 16-13, Tigers. We've got a good one going in the quarterfinal action of the CIT. Ertl reverses, open 3. A little bit long.
Well, that's not really the shot that Coach Richard would be looking. Tyree can score from out there, and he was trying to pull Combs out so somebody else could get to the basket, and Combs didn't come out, so he just took that shot.
Tyree White has made 18 triples this year, and he's had 6 starts. Armstrong fakes left, dribbles right, tries to pitch it down low. It's deflected out of bounds. It will stay with the Tigers. With Coach Mike Vining, I'm Len Rollins. Thank you for joining us from raucous Monroe, Louisiana tonight, as Ertl, who plays a lot of minutes, gets his first rest.
He does. He wants him to finish up strong. He'll give him this one and maybe a little bit into that media timeout coming up in a couple of minutes, and then he'll get him back in.
We're coming up on the 9.5-minute mark, and a strong move to the rack by Eden Ewing. He has scored 4 buckets in a variety of ways.
Yes, and that was a good pass. That penetrated and dished it off to him, and he was able to finish with it.
Brandon Newman entered the game for Ertl. This is Newman in the corner, spinning, going down low. That's swatted away from behind by Ewing. So Ewing getting it done on the offensive end and the defensive side.
So Ewing just comes across and picks him up, and he was just sitting there for it. Newman didn't know he was coming.
Offensive foul on Munnings. That's not good news for the home team. That's his second.
That's 2 offensive fouls for him. That's tough for Coach Richard. You know, 2 fouls this early on him and two fouls on Washington. And then said Travis usually defending inside gets a couple of fouls in there. So when he's getting them on the offensive end, it's really tough.
ULM normally plays only about 7 players per game. And the Tigers are down to about 8 per game who play meaningful minutes. Smith with a very nice feed down low to Tyree White for the flush. Deshaun was lining up the jump shot and then saw White open for the lay-in.
He got it to him. And, you know, Brandon Newman took it like he was going to the goal, and then he dished it off to Deshaun.
Armstrong tosses in his second 3. He's got 25 on the season. 21-15. That's a big bucket right there for the Tigers.
That was, and he didn't hesitate either. You know, he's got the green light. I think that's one of the things Coach Jones does. They feel like they can take the shot, they can score at any time, and he wants them to take that good shot if it's one that he's worked on.
Munnings kicks it out to Newman. Great ball movement by the Warhawks, and it's finished by a Deshaun Smith 3-pointer. That's his first made field goal. Perhaps that will ignite him.
Yeah, well, they've been getting the ball to him. He's handled it enough, and I think he went up and got the one he wanted.
There's contact inside. Newman takes it away.
That was a good job defensively. They just went straight up and put the hands on the ball. They didn't try to block it, didn't try to knock it up in the stands, just stopped it.
Quick release 3 right side. Sailed over everything. Munnings pretty quick on the trigger that time, and that was not a very accurate shot.
Yeah, that wasn't something that he would be looking for.
Offensive foul on Armstrong. And we'll come to a timeout here with 7:34 remaining in the first half. Texas Southern 21, ULM 18. More in a moment from the beautiful campus of the University of Louisiana Monroe. Most of the students are in white t-shirts with Warhawks on the front. They are rocking Van Buren Coliseum. But right now, Texas Southern enjoys a scant 3-point lead. It's 21-18. Neither team has shot as well as they would have hoped in the early going. Texas Southern 7 of 20. The Warhawks, who got off to a very slow start, are 7 of 22, 2 for 11 from three-point range.
You know, that's bad news for Coach Richard when ULM shoots that way from the three-point line, because they're about a 45% shooter from out there. They live on a three, and unfortunately, you'll also die on it.
Munnings finds the teammate Tyree White. That's the second time that combination is hooked up for the flush.
Yes, it was. Tyree drifted out in the short corner, and the defense turned his back on him, and he just cut to the basket when they went to pick up Travis, and Travis got the ball to him. You know, they're going, instead of just maybe settling for outside, Coach Richard's got him trying to take it to the basket more. Now they double team in, they drop in on Combs and make him throw the ball across court.
It's tipped away in traffic and taken by Newman. Erdl, who came back in during the timeout. Newman jumped past to Munnings. Down inside it goes. White is poked in the face inadvertently. We will see if they put him at the line.
Number 32 for Texas Southern, Devontae Lumpkin. His first foul, fourth foul.
Devontae Lumpkin picked up the foul. It is going to be a shooting opportunity for White, a 62% free throw shooter. Five points for Tyree off the bench. He's averaging 5.2. And with the early foul trouble from Andre Washington, Tyree White and Brandon Newman are going to be forced to contribute for ULM.
They're going to have to step up big time, and they've made some good plays so far. Tyree's cut to the basket. He finished those free throws, and like I said, with the foul trouble, they're going to have to step up.
6 now for the junior from St. Louis, Tyree White. A 7-0 run for the Warhawks has erased a Tigers lead. It's 22-21. The Warhawks up on top for the first time. This from the baseline by Combs. No good. Offensive rebound and a left-handed putback by Hopkins. Well done by Hopkins, the 6'5 sophomore from Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, he just went up and got it. ULM jumped, and instead of blocking him out to keep him from getting it, they went after it, and he was just able to pull it down and go back up.
Well, Hopkins and Combs are both very fine offensive rebounders.
Well, they do a great job. They get good timing, they get in good position, and they're strong.
Newman with a strong move to the rack. Brandon Newman saw a little bit of a path and arched it in from short range. 24-23. Another long three ball in the air and another conversion. Armstrong, a 5'10 junior lefty, now with 3 threes in the first half, 26 on the season.
Yeah, he looked very comfortable out there. He's played extremely well for him tonight.
Erdl takes the pass. It came from the backside. Erdl with 7.
Yeah, he made that cut, and they got the ball to him, and he's left-handed, and he was able to use his body to defend off the defender.
White pulls off the one-handed rebound. Erdl is always in motion.
Yeah, they want to open up that middle so they can cut in there just like that. Good move. He
White
made a great
with the
move.
pivot. Munnings with the rebound for a moment, gets it back, knocked out of his hands.
Well, Travis Munnings is just battling in there right now. He is just battling with him. Yeah, he gets it, goes up with it. They get a hand on it. He gets it again and goes up with it, and they call the foul that time.
Lumpkin was charged with his second. Munnings, a nice free throw shooter, 74.4%. But a little strong on this one. The senior from Freeport, Bahamas, averaging 15 a game, and the #1 rebounder for the Warhawks at 7.8. And the gentleman you see at the free throw line has started more games than any other ULM Warhawk in history.
134 games. That's a lot of games. But he started some games as a freshman, and he's been here ever since. He's been solid. He's been a true find for Coach Richard and Coach Cross, who recruited him from the Bahamas.
Warhawks by 1 with 4.5 to go. This for 3. Online but short. Rebound, the aforementioned Munnings. Munnings brings it down, kicks it to Newman. 3-ball, yes!
That was big. That was big.
That's only his 11th of the season, but he's shooting better than 50% from three-point range.
Yeah, he doesn't take a lot of them. He's more penetration, and he's more getting the ball to Earl and Deshaun when he's resting the other one. But he just got set, got his feet set, and finished that one.
This is the Warhawks' biggest lead at 4. Combs, who hasn't been a factor offensively lately, backing in on Ertl. Combs gets rid of it. Now he'll take the 3 left side. A little bit long. And a foul called on the rebound. Is this against Munnings?
It looks like it's on Munnings. It's 2 people went after the rebound. One
That's
of them
his
didn't get
third.
It. That's big.
That's gargantuan. Munnings was fighting for the rebound. And he will go to the bench with 3 fouls. Ertl on the lay-in.
I guess the officials thought he hung on to it a little bit.
This is the 3-ball by Newman. The Warhawks have a 4-point lead.
Fieldhouse Bar and Grill, Highway 165 North and Loop Road, just 2.5 miles north of I-20 in Monroe.
Is this a foul on number 1 in white or not? It didn't look like it. It looked like Munnings had the ball as the 2 players were leaping for it, had almost simultaneous contact, but a foul was called on Munnings. That's his 3rd, and that is major news.
That's tough. That's tough for ULM. You know, when 2 people go up to get the rebound, neither one of them actually got it. Both of them fall to the floor, and then their judgment, Travis calls the contact. Here's
Lumpkin shooting free throws. That didn't hit iron. Wide right.
So they were 5 for 5 that time. So
all 5 of them, though, coming from Combs. He has been the only free throw shooter prior to that one. Andre Washington has returned to the lineup, and he's got to be careful because he's been on the bench for a while with 2 early fouls.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Yeah, they're just looking now to move the ball and trying to get some cuts. Andre don't usually step out that much unless he comes up to the top of the key to set a screen. There's Newman.
He'll take another 3, and he's 2 for 2 from that spot. This guy came in shooting 52% from three-point range. He had 10 triples prior to the game. He's 2 for 2 today.
Well, he was very comfortable shooting that one, and after the first one went, he was looking for it.
Look at that nice move by Armstrong. That's his first 2-pointer as he just swiveled and looped it up. It hit the rim and crawled over.
You know, Armstrong's only 5'10", but he gets in there and he handles that ball tough.
He's averaging 6.5 and a follow flush by Tyree White.
Tyree took that one as it was coming off and just put it back in there. That'll usually help get the crowd back in it again, too.
This is the biggest lead for ULM at 7. It was a 7-0 run a couple of minutes ago that powered ULM to its first lead.
You know, Ewing was looking to make a move before he caught the ball, and it just went between his legs.
White for 3. Right now, Tyree White off the bench is hotter than a fire ant on a fever blister.
He was ready for that one.
Texas Southern has taken a short timeout as the Warhawks, after a very slow start from out court and nothing produced down inside on several point-blank range opportunities, but a 14-2 run lately by ULM, and the lead is 10 for the home team.
It was punctuated by those 2 big threes we had the last time down the floor when Newman and Tyree White hit them. You know, Coach
Tyree
Richard,
White has 11 points. That's double his average. Let's look at Tyree White. He finishes right here on the follow flush, and then he steps back and drains the three.
Well, he's got his rhythm going there, so he looked good doing both of them.
White with 19 triples. That was his first of the game. Johnny Jones called a timeout to get his team focused, and that will work. A slick pass down low to Lumpkin. He was wide open and just laid it in.
I think Newman was watching, if he was going to have to help on the dribble penetration, and he lost his man. Lumpkin did a great job just going to the basket.
That little baby hook didn't quite get there by Washington.
Yeah, he didn't square up. He was trying to get in there. He got to the basket. He just got to finish that shot.
Jones fakes right, dribbles left, dumps it off to Combs down on the baseline. He'll draw a double team if he tries to go baseline. There's the double team, and he finds the open man for the lay-in. Once again, it's Lumpkin, Devontae Lumpkin. Where has he come from? This is a guy who doesn't play a whole lot.
They all drop down to Combs. Combs just attracts so much attention because of his ability, and they dropped in there and they turned their back on their man. They're going to have to drop down. As we always said, you butt to the baseline so you can see the ball and your man.
Lumpkin has come off the bench, is 2 for 2, 4 points. And this thing is tightened up in a hurry. Warhawks lead 38-32 with less than a minute and a half remaining in the opening period before a very energetic and large crowd in Pat Ewing Coliseum.
Well, you can bet Coach Richard was talking to them about knowing where their man is. That was 2 times they completely lost their man. I think it was probably 2 different people, even though it was the same. Lumpkin scored both of them.
Mike, can ULM afford to double up on Combs? Now, he is a locomotive down low. Very strong, very agile, very quick, certainly offensive-minded, but he's also a good passer. Can ULM afford to double him up?
They can, but they have to be aware of where the open man is. They have to be able to recover. And if the inside man helps, then the outside man's got to drop and relieve him so that the pass has got to be a long pass all the way across court.
That's going to be a bumping foul on Lumpkin, and it's going to put Ertl at the free throw line.
That's his third. Lumpkin's picked up his third foul.
Michael Ertl. Well, no, this is not a shooting foul. I thought they were in the bonus, but they're not. It'll be the next foul against Texas Southern, which will put ULM at the line. Ertl almost falls down, but 8 on the shot clock. Spinning, got in trouble, lost the ball. Here comes Texas Southern. This for 3. Newman with a big rebound. Newman gets it down quickly. Scoop shot won't go. White gets it back. And a whistle.
Officials is calling. They're stopping the play.
I think there is going to be a question on the shot clock.
I think that's
on possession.
He pointed at the shot clock. I don't know if that last shot might not have hit the rim. Right. And I think the shot clock was reset, and they think it might have not have hit the rim.
And they are right. It did not hit the rim. So the shot clock should have continued to roll.
Probably from the angle on it across the court from us, they didn't have that angle that we have here.
The Warhawks have a 38-32 lead.
You know, that's another shot that they got inside. You know, we have how ULM started off missing like 5 or 6 shots inside.
3 seconds, 24 on the shot clock.
So the official has come over and told us that there will be 24 seconds on the shot clock. It did not hit the rim. Marshall already has defeated Presbyterian in the quarterfinal round, so Marshall is on its way to the semifinals. Hampton is playing NJIT. Cal State Bakersfield and Green Bay are playing. And, of course, the semifinals will be Tuesday. The championship will be Thursday of next week.
Well, the ULM now that's got 20 seconds on the shot clock. Newman up top, and they're trying to get something going, get some movement. They'd like to get a cut to the basket. If not, they'll settle for that 3.
White lines it up, feeds Newman on the backdoor cut, and he loops it in. Newman has played very well off the bench. Very well. 2 threes and a couple of deuces and some defensive work.
You know, we talked to Coach Jones before the game, and we was talking about everybody knows everybody. Well, today a couple of guys that hadn't really scored that much has been doing a lot of scoring, and maybe that's because they're so familiar with each other.
And Armstrong has had a big first half as well. The 5'10 junior from Houston makes it a 6-point game. Armstrong has been terrific. 3 threes and a couple of deuces as these teams go to the halftime locker room. The 2 players you were talking about for ULM, Mike, Tyree White and Brandon Newman, they've both been very, very critical off the bench, providing some offense.
They stepped up and answered the call.
40-34 at halftime in Fant Ewing Coliseum on the campus of ULM. This is quarterfinal.
$0 per month. So call the number on your screen or visit our website to enroll online.
It's halftime. It's 40-34. ULM out of the Sun Belt Conference taking on Texas Southern from the SWAC. Texas Southern started very quickly behind Jeremy Combs, but he's been held in check lately, and the Warhawks, with a couple of nice runs in the second half of the first half, have taken this 40-34 lead. Marshall already has posted an 83-66 win over Presbyterian, so Marshall moves into the semifinal round. Hampton and NJIT will be in action in quarterfinal play, and of course, Cal State Bakersfield takes on Green Bay tomorrow. So that's the way it lines up with the remaining games as we get closer and closer to the championship bracket.
They're closing in. You know, everybody can see it right now. They started and went with it.
Mike, let's revisit the keys to the game, starting with Texas Southern.
You know, they wanted an up-tempo game. They want to get it down the floor, put a shot up early before ULM gets back on defense. They want to go inside. They've done that. They've got to defend a 3. ULM has not shot the ball well from the 3. They've got some shots. They just weren't able to get them to go down. Defense could have something to do with that.
Now the keys for ULM tonight.
Well, you know, ULM has got to get back and stop that transition game, and they've done a decent job of that. They've got to defend the paint. That's been tough. When they stop Combs, the other people have come in. They've got to limit turnovers. I think they've done a decent job with the turnovers. I think ULM
5.
has only got 5, and, of course, Texas Southern has only got 6. And ULM only averages about 11. Texas Southern averages around 15 or 16. So they're ahead of the curve for themselves.
The Warhawks by 6 at halftime. We will return to Monroe, Louisiana after this timeout. We are inside Fant Ewing Coliseum with Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame coach Mike Vining, who won more than 400 games on the sideline here. Also with 8 postseason appearances, 7 in the NCAA and 1 in the NIT. I'm Len Rollins. Mike, we've seen a game of contrasts tonight. ULM started very, very slowly. Texas Southern was able to get the ball down low and score. ULM had opportunities to score down low and didn't do it, but lately the three-point shooting for the Warhawks has come very strong.
Yeah, they've really picked it up. You know, I think you said they maybe made 5 out of the last 7 that really stepped up. Here's the field goal percentage right now. You know, they're basically tied here, 3-point range. The Tigers 25 and ULM 36, so that was just here lately. Rebounds, ULM 22-14. That was a big stat that we said that the Tigers, when they out-rebound their opponent, the record was 17-2. So I was really watching that throughout the course of the game. But I want to say one thing about assists. Travis Munnings, when he got his 3rd assist, and by the way, he has 5 now, he passed Brian Spencer as the 9th all-time leading assist leader for ULM. So not only has he got the points, a number of games, he now has, he's number 9 on the assists.
He'll have to be careful in the second half because he's working with 3 fouls. He picked up a couple of offensive fouls on a very questionable foul when both teams were battling for a rebound. So Munnings with 3 fouls in some difficulty, and Andre Washington has been limited to 1 bucket. He didn't play much in the first half after accumulating 2 quick fouls.
Yeah, we just saw 2 of Travis's 5 assists right there. He got 1 to Andre, and then like a couple to Tyree. So he's got 5, so he does more than just score. And tonight he's done more than just foul. He's got 3, and like you said, that's a big worry for Coach Richard.
Well, Tyree White has been really good off the bench with 11 points, and Brandon Newman off the bench has 10. So they've got 21 between them as reserve players. 40-34, ULM leads. We'll be back in a moment. This place has been rocking through the first 20 minutes of basketball. The CollegeInsiders.com tournament in a quarterfinal round. Texas Southern from the SWAC and ULM from the Sun Belt Conference. A couple of minutes to go here before we move to the start of the second half. Mike, it's interesting to me because the 2 leading scorers in this game, Jeremy Combs, averaging 17.3, has been held to 7. Those came early, but he's been limited to 1 bucket, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Deshaun Smith has had an off night for the Warhawks to this point. A couple of free throws and a triple for 5. He's averaging 21.2. And yet, when you look at the reserves of Tyree White and Brandon Newman, they've got more than half of the Warhawks' points. You don't count on those guys to score 21 points between them in the first half, but that's exactly what they've done to take up with the lack of scoring among some of the starters.
Well, you're right. You know, you put all your effort into stopping the leading scorer or the people that are supposed to be scoring, and they give it up to someone else. They get open, and they make great passes, giving up to them, and they finish for it. Of course, the Brandon Newman hit that 3. You've got to score those. On the other end, Combs is giving it up. When he gets the ball, he attracts a lot of attention. So those cutters are getting inside and getting a ball, and that's how Armstrong has got some of his baskets too.
Well, the Warhawks have 11 assists on their 15 made buckets. That's a high percentage. The Tigers with 5 assists on 13 buckets.
Well, they're moving the ball well. They're seeing the floor, and I think both of them, it means a lot to them. And like I said, Texas Southern has been on the road a lot. They're used to playing on the road. This crowd is not going to bother them. If they don't score, if they don't hit, it's not going to be the crowd's fault because they've done this all year long. As we mentioned earlier, they went to Oregon and won, and Oregon's in the Sweet 16 tomorrow. Coach Richard's giving them the final words over there. The Tigers are already out on the floor waiting, and it looks like ULM will start off with the ball.
That team in white knows it's 20 minutes away from a potential semifinal berth in the CollegeInsiders.com championship tournament.
And with this crowd, there's a possibility we might be right back here with them if they pull it off.
The semifinals will be played on Tuesday of next week. The finals will be played on Thursday.
It'll be interesting to watch now. We've got Andre and Travis, both of them with 3 fouls, to see how they start off this second half and how long they can go staying out of any more foul trouble.
Well, Andre Washington with a couple of fouls. He has avoided any since the early part of the first half. But Munnings is laboring with 3 fouls.
Yeah, but good thing Tyree came in and was able to fill in for Andre a little bit.
6 on the shot clock. And an early 3 from Travis Munnings. That's his first triple of the game. That's his 70th of the season.
You know, they look for that. He looks for that early in the game. He always wants to get off start. That usually means good things for him.
And a looping left-hander is up and good by Armstrong.
Man,
this little fellow has 3 threes. He started the game with 3 consecutive triples, and he's got 3 consecutive deuces now. 15 points for Armstrong. That's more than twice his season's average.
Right now, they've gone into a little zone. Deshaun, they failed to get over at him. They went back to a zone. I think that was to try to stop some of the penetration, stop the guy from stepping out and then getting beat back to the basket. And then they left him open in the corner.
Deshaun Smith has 109 made triples this year. One of the best three-point shooting backcourt players in the country.
You know, Deshaun was open in the corner then. Travis finally got the ball over to Earl, and Earl couldn't get it to him. They did a good job defensively. Armstrong is sticking to him pretty good. He and John Jones has started, number 12 started the second half, so they're both defending the ball well.
This is Butler, lob pass down to Ewing. Ewing missed it. He may have rushed it a little bit. Tried to flush it with some extra emphasis, and that ball looked like it never got comfortable on his hand right here.
Yeah, he tried to tomahawk that one, and he just needed to get a little bit closer to the basket. He was up there. He just wasn't close enough to the basket.
Munnings from the elbow misses it, and a rebound foul called. Let's see who they get. Maybe it was Ewing. It was. That's his second foul. Johnny Jones looks on from the Texas Southern bench.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether they go back to if they stay in the zone or they go back to the man. Earl just broke inside that zone behind the front man and was able to pull up with that shot. He may not stay in that long.
Earl with 9.
In our conversation with Coach Jones before the game, he said that he plays some zone sometimes just to try to change the pace, to get them out of their rhythm. And he didn't do it a lot, but sometimes he did.
How about Combs? It looked like he had a shot from the right side. He kept dribbling and then scored on the reverse layup. That's his first bucket of the second half. That's only his second bucket of the game. He's got 9 points.
Well, he got the defense to stand up, and then he broke him down and took it to the basket and went under the basket to score.
Erdl with the left hand, a power move, and he lays it in with the left hand from the right side.
You know, Coach Richard's got him going more aggressive to the basket this time. That's twice he's been in there. So he's wanting them to get inside the lane themselves.
Jones takes it deep into the defense. And a whistle and a foul called, I think, on Smith.
Yeah, he picked up his second foul there. You know, he penetrates in.
Right there, he tried to hack it away and got a piece of the wrist.
You know, he comes up with a lot of steals like that, but he also gets some fouls that way.
John Jones is a very good free throw shooter at 84%. That's his first point. He's had 19 starts this year, averaging just under 8 points a game, and he's a good outcourt shooter with 61 triples. That's second on the team.
But he knocked those 2 down.
ULM by 10 over Texas Southern. We have played 3 minutes in the second half.
Well, they're back in the man-to-man now. They're going to put some pressure on Erdl and Travis. See, Combs, this man handled Travis that time.
Munnings was able to survive that obvious push. That rerouted him, but he still was able to step back and toss in the fadeaway.
Well, he was strong enough to hit that fadeaway. Up with an offensive rebound and puts it back in. You know, I think Ewing thought he was going to run over the guy, and Travis Andre stepped out of his way, and he missed the shot, but Combs was there to clean it up.
That's the 4th offensive rebound by Combs. Deshaun Smith starting to get involved offensively now, and that's a good sign for the Warhawks.
Yeah, he's been a little bit more aggressive.
Smith appears to be suffering from a cramp or something. He's not particularly nimble right now.
He's not mobile. And there's Combs again. Missed it and got his rebound and then got fouled.
Combs is very strong, very active.
That's Munning's fourth foul. That's Munning's fourth foul. I didn't know who fouled him. I knew it was under there, but Deshaun cramped up the last game. He had to come out late in the game.
Well, he's going to have to leave now, and so is Munnings with 4 fouls. Munnings is very upset as he walks to the ULM bench. He's picked up 4 fouls. At least a couple of them have been 50-50 calls at best. Williams slaps that away. J.D. Williams.
That was Earl got it to him, and as he didn't try to dunk it that time, he knew he was a little too far out, and he just carried it in and finished it.
A bucket in each half for J.D., averaging 12.5 a game. 56-42. ULM is playing very short-handed right now.
They're just going to have to take care of the middle. You know, Newman was trying to help out inside, but he's going to have to stay out there and stop Jones himself because he's capable of putting it up.
Shot clock at 2. The looper rattles, falls away, and the rebound pulled off by Andre Washington. He's going to have to play big now. He's 6'8". He's going to have to play bigger.
You know, they got to take care of the ball. You know, Brandon's going to have to. Newman's going to have to be able to stay in this game a while. It may be questionable if Deshaun gets back out. Like I said, he came out with cramps the last game.
He was able to return and play well. Erdl is double-teamed, loses it, and this will be Combs all alone for the flush. Combs with 6 points quickly in the second half. He's got 13 on the night now.
Yeah, Erdl got the ball too far away from his hands. He came off of that screen, and then they double-teamed him, and he was going to try to make the pass, and he got up high, and they just took it away from him.
This is Erdl down on the baseline. He's double-teamed, looking for someone down low. Kick out to Williams, fakes the 3, takes it to the rack, and that's stripped out of his hands, and Williams comes up limping. Yeah. So Williams is hopping to the sideline, and it's turning into a mash unit on the sideline for ULM. We'll take a break after this. 14:26 to go in the second half. 56-44 Warhawks.
People, our tech, and our tools, we make your life easier. Because we get it. Some things are bigger than banking.
It's been a battle of attrition for the Warhawks. Williams comes down and twists his ankle. He immediately starts hopping to the sideline. They're working on him now.
They've got to watch the shot clock.
Newman shovels it off late, and there's contact, and free throws are coming. This ULM team, for the most part tonight, Mike Vining, has been extremely unselfish.
They have. They've got the ball to the open man. They're cutting. They're playing hard, and they're anticipating. They're anticipating the cut, and they're hitting them in full stride so they can do something with it. That time, Andre Washington got through there. Just wasn't able to finish it. They got a hand on him.
These will be his first free throws of the night. A 60% shooter from the stripe on the season. He has started 22 of 35 games.
That foul was on Vacchio Butler, so that's his second foul, I believe.
Butler has not scored for Texas Southern.
Well, they got him 3 up there.
J.D. Williams apparently will be returning to the lineup after getting some fresh tape applied to that twisted ankle.
They'll have those trainers working on him, and then also on Deshaun to try to get him ready to go back in the game.
This ball's tipped into the air, and then the entry pass after the recovery is intercepted, but unable to be controlled by Tyree White. Tyree had a good idea, but in his anticipation and his hurry to get up floor, he lost the dribble.
Yeah, what he wanted to do, he just couldn't get his feet and hands to keep up with his mind. He was ready. He was looking ahead and looking for that basket. You know, that's a turnover that they could have sure used on the other end.
57-44. ULM leading. Step back three. Oh, that's nice. That's Butler's first bucket, the 6'5" senior from Atlanta. That's his 52nd of the season.
And he didn't hesitate either. He come up with it, scoring. You know, that's what they talk about Texas Southern. They all shoot like they've been doing it all the time. No matter what position they play or how many they scored, they stay in the game. Ertl just slipped and had to throw it up there to get rid of it.
But an offensive rebound grabbed. Ertl takes the return pass and then hurries that shot, misses everything. Ertl has played most of this game, and right now his mouth is gaping open as he gasps for breath.
Well, he's not going to be able to come out now with Deshaun over there and with Williams also. It's going to be he and Newman. Coach Richard will just be having to give them rest timeouts.
Andre Washington with the rebound. ULM leading by 10.
Well, now Smith back up on the regular bench right now. He just came back up and was standing there, but he's still stretching out.
He had to leave the game with what appeared to be cramps a few minutes ago. Newman goes baseline. He's cut off, gets rid of it late, and threw it away. Nobody was home on the other side. 2-on-1 break. Combs is right there for the flush.
They had Jalen Hodge in the game. You know, he hasn't been in there that much. And I think they were looking for him to cut over. He's a freshman. They were looking for him to drift over when they made that pass.
Hodge wears number 13 in white, a 6'1" freshman from O'Fallon, Illinois. He'll take the shot. Misses it long. I'm not so sure that's the guy you want shooting.
Yeah, that's not the one they wanted right now. I think he just wanted to prove he could make it. He was a scorer in high school.
Right now, Texas Southern appears to be gaining a little rhythm offensively.
They are. They got some confidence going. They pushed it. They got a couple of turnovers. They finished it. And so they're just getting back in the ball game, crawling back. ULM is wasting some opportunities.
Free throws coming from Tyreek Armstrong, a 79% free throw shooter. He's had a huge game. 3 threes, 3 deuces, and a free throw.
That was Ertl's first foul.
16 for Armstrong.
Well, now
that's
Smith,
10 above his average.
Yes. Smith just came in to give Ertl a breather, and Travis Munnings is coming back in. He's coming in for DeAndre.
Munnings is playing with 4 fouls.
Well, Coach Richard said with 12 minutes left, he's going to play him as long as he can and get the best out of him. You don't know how long do you hold him out, when you get him in. I'll be looking for him to get Hodge back out pretty quick.
8 minutes into the second half. The lead has been dwindled to 6, 57-51. Newman takes it down the left side, kicks it out. 3 ball. Won't go from the deep baseline. Rebounded by Butler. This is Armstrong. Oh, yes. Tyreek Armstrong has been terrific offensively.
Has he had a game?
3 threes, 4 deuces, and a couple of free throws.
Has he had a game tonight?
He's averaging 6.5 points. He's got close to 3 times that amount right now. ULM right now desperately needs a bucket and won't get it that way.
Well, Travis got too far. Money's got too far under the basket and wasn't able to do anything with it. And I think they probably got a hand on it and knocked it out of his hand.
We'll take a timeout with 11:24 to go. Here come the Tigers. A double-digit lead has been cut to 4, 57-53. More in a moment from ULM.
5 miles north of I-20 in Monroe.
(57-53). What was a 14-point lead has been cut to 4.
You know, ULM has had 8 turnovers so far. That's getting a little high for them.
Munnings tries to hook it around a defender.
He either went too far one step or he needed to go one more step.
White got a hand on that pass and deflected it over the inline. Texas Southern's biggest lead was 7 minutes into the game, leading by 8. ULM's biggest lead a few minutes ago was 14.
And it disappeared quickly. But, you know, if White hadn't got a hand on that pass, Combs was open under the basket. He was making a good cut. Armstrong just feels like he can go to the basket anytime he wants to.
Offensive rebound pulled off by Hopkins. Combs missed it. And a defensive rebound grabbed by Munnings.
That was a rare miss. That was a big miss for ULM.
Smith leaves the three a little bit short. Ertl, yes, from the baseline. 13 points for Michael Ertl, E-R-T-E-L.
He was just standing there waiting on that rebound. It came to him, and he was able to take it to the goal and finish it. That was big.
Ertl has the ability to score on a variety of shots in a hurry. Combs, strong move. I've described him as a locomotive down low, and I think that's pretty accurate.
It is. He went that time, and actually, I think J.D. Smith got a hand on that shot, but he put it in there anyway.
Well, after a slow start, Combs now has his season's average of 17 a game.
But, you know, Armstrong cut through the middle, and they didn't get the ball to him.
That's a big bucket by Munnings. No hesitation from the top. He was a foot behind the three-point line and nestled it home.
He took care of it. He took care of it. But, you know, I was telling you.
This for three. Rattles out. Combs, offensive rebound. And lost it out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Warhawks.
He was going to the goal hard with it, but he just lost control of it. The official under the basket was blocked out. He couldn't see it, so the other official on the outside made the call for him.
That last bucket by Munnings was only the second made field goal in the last 8 attempts for the Warhawks, but it was a huge one.
That's how they lost that 14-point lead that you just spoke of.
Munnings again, quick release. Maybe too quick.
Little too quick on that one. Coach Richard called that. That's a set play for him.
They get it to Combs down low. White battling. Did enough. And finally the rebound taken off as Munnings gets up. The Warhawks wait for the retinue to catch up, and it's now 5-on-5.
See,
a lot of bumping there.
They're on him over there pretty
Newman
good.
Finally is knocked backward, and a foul called on John Jones.
I think he was just going to try to take it away from him.
There's some contact there. Actually, that probably wasn't as egregious as what was before that.
That was not the first one. That was not the first one. See, he feels like, I think, that he can cause Newman some trouble. He knows Newman doesn't start and doesn't play that much.
Newman cutting through, but does not take the pass. Did they call Munnings for the foul? No, they did not.
Block.
That's a blocking foul. Munnings has worked with 4 fouls for a while.
It'll be ULM under the basket with 12 on the shot clock.
Munnings step back, in and out. Rebound by Ewing. 62-55, ULM by 7. Jones looks inside, instead feeds Armstrong. Armstrong guarded by Ertl, a couple of lefties. Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. Armstrong, he's got 4 triples. He's got 4 doubles, and he's got a pair of free throws.
You know, right now, he just doesn't believe he can miss. You know, that was just all to get that shot. He tried to penetrate. He wasn't able to get it. And then he decided to take the 3.
22 for Armstrong. This is a guy averaging 6.5. And there is a big answer. A big answer by ULM.
That one didn't go. He got the shot he wanted. It just didn't go. Now ULM just yes.
Smith thought he saw something underneath, and it wasn't there, and it's going to go back to the Tigers.
Munnings was cutting, and Deshaun saw him and tried to get him the ball and just put too much on it.
7:42 to play. The Warhawks in quest of a semifinal berth. 64-58, CollegeInsiders.com tournament.
Well, we got B.J. Bell in the house, and he's got the crowd rocking with him.
Well, things are lively here in Fant Ewing Coliseum. Quarterfinals of the CollegeInsiders.com tournament. Marshall has punched a ticket to the semifinals, and a couple of other games will determine the semifinalists after this one.
Well, we got 7.5 minutes now.
That's tipped away and intercepted by Smith at the free throw line.
That was a big stop. Now that they just got to be able to convert it.
Texas Southern shooting 44%. ULM 45.5. 8 for 23 from beyond the arc. 5 for 16 are the Tigers from out court. Shot clock at 7. 3-ball Munnings didn't get there. Rebound by Ewing.
Well, they're sticking to Erdl and Smith. They're going to try to make sure they don't come up with a good shot. They may get one, but it'll be one they'll have to really work on.
Armstrong gets it down on the baseline. Look at the move with the left hand. A strong play by Hopkins, the sophomore out of Huntsville, Alabama. That's his second bucket.
That was a good move, and he finished on it.
64-60. This thing is getting tighter than frog skin, and it could get even tighter right now. The steal, but another blown jam by Eden Ewing. That's 3 times he's been at the rim.
Hey, look, I don't know if they call a foul on Tyree. I didn't see it. The official blew his whistle. Yeah,
they did call a foul on White. You got to know when to let him go, because there's no way you're going to block that.
There was nothing he could do with that one.
So that's a needless foul.
It is.
I know they're playing with emotion and want to make a defensive play, but you cannot stop a guy right here. Watch this defensive position. You're beat.
Yes.
The only thing you can do is give up the three-point play. I didn't see the contact, actually, but I guess there was.
His hand, he faked that. Yeah, the officials are going to take a look at it now to see. Maybe they'll see what we just saw. The only thing I saw is maybe his shoulder. His hand didn't hit him. Maybe his shoulder brushed his leg and caused him to lose his balance.
Whatever the case, there's a razor-thin margin between these teams now. ULM had a 14-point lead. It's down to 4.
Well, it's a lot of things, rebounding. ULM is out rebounding them, but it seems like offensive rebounds is going. They were able to finish off. The Tigers were able to finish off better than the Warhawks.
The Warhawks are seeking their 20th win of the season. Let's take a look at this play. I didn't see any contact whatsoever.
Yeah, he faked at him with a hand. The only thing I thought maybe if his shoulder done, but he didn't. If they saw the same thing we saw, it'll be ULM's ball under the basket.
Eden Ewing, meanwhile, 3 times has had dunk opportunities. I think they're going to reverse this call.
Yeah, he's coming over here to tell us right now. They
have ruled a common foul.
I think maybe they were looking to see if it was intentional.
You can't review the contact or not. So evidently they were trying to see if there was something more egregious with the foul.
Yeah.
I didn't see any contact whatsoever.
I didn't either. I guess they couldn't erase that. They could just rule on the extent of it. He said it was a common foul, 2 shots.
All of that is in the rearview mirror now, and Ewing looking for his 10th point. This to make it a 2-point game. The Tigers have cut 12 off of a 14-point lead.
Well, he missed that dunk, but he didn't miss those 2 free throws.
Ewing is only a 50% free throw shooter, but he bagged both of those. Newman stops at the elbow, pitches it down low, and a little bumping foul.
Foul number 15 for the Tigers, Justin Hopkins.
This attendance tonight, one of the better ones of the year, 6,004. Mostly rabid Warhawk fans. A couple of busloads of Texas Southern fans are here as well.
They were all tailgating out front early, and then, of course, B.J. Bell had them in the game over there.
Well, they shared a few ribs, a little crawfish, a little etouffee, a little jambalaya. White will be at the line.
He got to the
Tyree
basket.
White.
Foul number 2 for Texas Southern, Eden Ewing.
Ewing committed his third foul. White is 2 for 2 at the free throw line. There's Johnny Jones crouched near his bench. White with 13, 11 in the first half. He was critical in building a lead for the Warhawks.
He was. He stepped out and hit some threes. He knocks that one down.
Every free throw is big. This is a 62% free throw shooter. He's had 6 starts this year and a big game, averaging 5.2. Looking for his 15th point. If ULM wins this game, Mike, it's going to be to a great deal of credit from White and Newman off the bench.
Oh, no doubt. And if the Tigers win it, you got to give Armstrong an awful lot of credit, and he's the one working with it right now.
Armstrong takes the deuce. Got it. My goodness. Tyree Armstrong has been a scoring factory. 1, 2, 3, 4 triples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doubles. 2 free throws. Look at that flying flush. The two-hander by Tyree White. Superman at the rim.
Yeah, he got by his man, and Travis cut across the lane, and Travis's man went with him, and nobody saw him.
68-64. Armstrong guarded by Ertl. Down low it goes to Ewing. Ewing is triple teamed in the lane. That's knocked out of the hands of the dribbler by Smith. Here they come. The one-handed flush. Travis Munnings sailing in. He leapt from the Bahamas and finished in Monroe.
He did, and I was worried about him landing.
A defensive stop, and the crowd is on its feet in Monroe.
They had a travel call over there trying to make a move to get to the basket, it looked like. I got blocked out myself. The crowd is in it. They're agreeing with the official on this one.
70-64.
They were checking on looked like they're checking on Travis. I don't know if he got hurt. Munnings was over there looking at something.
He
on
came
the bench.
down after that flying flush on 1 foot, and it looked like he kind of lost his footing when he made contact with the floor. It looked like it slipped out from under him a little bit. But he's back in the game okay.
Yeah, they were looking at his hand then. Yeah, had some blood on his hand, maybe off when he hit the rim, because he finished it with that left hand.
Here comes Ertl now. A chance for ULM to take an 8-point lead.
But, you know, Armstrong has scored a lot of points for them, but he's done an outstanding job of defending Ertl, too. He is everywhere he goes.
It's been fun to watch those two guys battle. A lot of contact there. Munning steps back, takes the 3, no good. Rebounded by Armstrong at 5'10". This for 3, online but long. Rebound hits the floor, grabbed by Butler.
Yeah, that long rebound, they were able to get it. Newman's got to stay on the floor.
Boy, that's good work. Armstrong, he has been phenomenal. Well over 20 points. He averages 6.5. Armstrong right now has 26 points. He's 10 of 15 from the floor, Mike. Yeah, he is really putting on a show.
He almost had the ball in, but he had the arm, too. He got Ertl's arm.
Let's take a break. ULM by 4. 3:56 to play. Quarterfinal action. 70-66. The CollegeInsiders.com tournament from Monroe.
Per month. That's right, $0 per month. So call the number on your screen or visit our website to enroll online.
Welcome back, everyone. ULM is trying to punch its ticket into the semifinal round. Marshall defeated Presbyterian yesterday, and we've got a final from action between Hampton and New Jersey Institute of Technology. Hampton advances to the semifinals with an 82-70 victory. Cal State Bakersfield and Green Bay are the other pairing for the 4th semifinal entry. Ertl with that great free throw shooting. Leaves this one short.
Left
a
it a little short.
91% free throw shooter. Came up shy.
Yeah,
A strong move.
I think
Very strong by Combs.
Ertl having to defend Armstrong is wearing him down, too. He's not scoring. He's not as effective as he has been. He's still handling the ball, but he's having to work just to get open because Armstrong is all over.
Boy, normally when you give Ertl a one-and-one opportunity, you can just count a couple of free throws, put them in the books.
It has been all year long.
Well, they got the foul before, and look at Combs. Oh, Combs, so strong. Jeremy Combs. He has come alive in the second half. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points. 12 of his 19 and a chance to get some more.
Well, they threw the ball into him. He got Tyree White up in the air and then just took it to him, and he goes up with him, try to block the shot, and then he got the foul.
Fourth foul on Tyree White. This to make it a 1-point game.
I said we've got Lumpkin back in the ball game, number 32.
Combs is 59.5%, but he's 5 for 5 tonight. All of those coming in the first half. He has been money in the bank at the free throw line. A 1-point game, 70-69. Fasten those seat belts and hang on, everybody.
You know, I guess J.D. Williams is not going to be able to get back in the ball game because Newman is staying out here a long time. I don't even see him right now.
This for three. Munnings, And now Texas Southern, after the Hopkins rebound, has a chance to take the lead for the first time in a long, long time.
And Armstrong's looking for it. He's looking for a chance to penetrate. If he don't, he'll try to put up that three.
White almost made a heck of a play in taking it away, but he couldn't control it, and he touched it last.
Yeah, they had a cutter going to the basket. He was looking for him.
.16 on the shot clock. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Combs got it, puts it up. Kind of got bumped on the way, didn't get a good look at it. Munnings took a flat-footed rebound.
Yeah, they did a good job of just double teaming him that time, and he didn't get up in the air.
That's rebound number 7 for Munnings.
You know, they're going to have to move the ball and get some cuts and get back to the basket instead of just settling for it out here. See, Deshaun made a good cut that time, but he wasn't getting it. They just got to keep that going.
Smith has only 10 points. Ertl takes it, fades. That's not a high percentage shot, but don't tell him that.
It didn't matter to him, but he does. He's able to shoot that, and he has to fade back to get it over those bigger guys. And also, he gets in there left-handed. He does a lot of twisting, and he's able to get rid of it.
15 for Ertl. Look at Combs go to work. Jeremy Combs. And a foul on White. He fouls out.
That's his fifth. But what about that pass that Armstrong made to Combs? I mean, he threaded a needle to him. He was open and he got it.
Tyree White played a whale of a game off the bench. 17 points before he's disqualified on fouls with 2:14 to play.
He has done a great job on Combs. Just keeping him off the basket, keeping him off the bucket. He kept him from getting started early, but now he's on a roll.
And he continues to shoot free throws very well. 72 apiece.
You know, Combs is just showing a big-time player, plays big time when he needs it, and he's hit all of those free throws tonight.
16 points in the second half for Combs, 23 on the day.
Yeah, they've got to get some move the ball. They got to get some cuts instead of just posting up and standing still. There's Ertl cut, but he got cut.
Munnings lost it after a lot of bumps. And that ball was touched last by ULM while Andre Washington was on the floor. The pass was thrown off of Washington.
Yeah, they were trying to say, but Travis got bumped pretty good going in there, and when he lost the ball.
1:49 to go. 72-72. This would be one heck of a comeback by Texas Southern. It was trailing by 14 points about 5 minutes ago.
And being on the road's nothing new to them.
John Jones gets it to Butler. This is Armstrong. He's had a huge game. Guarded by Ertl. Armstrong can't shake Ertl. 7 to shoot. Armstrong fades, loops it up, in and out. And a rebound foul called, I think, against Combs. Combs was on the back, it appeared.
Yes, he was over the back, so they'll go to the other end.
That's his first foul. Can you believe that? So this guy not only is a monster around the bucket, he plays without contact.
He doesn't use his arms a lot. He got that just being over the back. He was just going after that rebound over Andre.
Washington 1 for 2 at the stripe, a 60% free throw shooter. This is huge. No good.
He just didn't get under that one. He bit just too much on him. I mean, it's...
Ertl has missed a couple or one. Washington has missed one. They've both been on the front end of 1-and-1s. For the lead from the key. Hopkins missed it.
Well, they wanted somebody beside Armstrong to shoot it.
60 seconds and counting.
Coach Richard gets him over there to call a timeout so they can talk about what they want to do this possession and also the next possession.
We've got drama in Monroe. Quarterfinal action. 72 apiece in the CollegeInsiders.com tournament. Quarterfinal action coming your way.
Highway 165 north and Loop Road, just 2.5 miles north of I-20 in Monroe.
Here's the scenario. 55.5 seconds to go. Texas Southern has come from 14 back to forge a tie with ULM at 72. 22 on the shot clock for the Warhawks.
We've got Newman to inbound it for ULM.
This is Ertl. Combs is defending. Munning trying to work. And a foul called apparently on Combs. Boy, those two guys were really working hard. Well, Munnings will be at the free throw line.
Yeah, Travis can't push him. He just kind of bumps into him, and then he looks like he kind of bounces off.
Well, remember, Munnings has worked with 4 fouls for a long time. A 74.4% free throw shooter, 1 for 2. That is big. He shot that one with the confidence of a guy with a straight flush.
It looks like Smith. I don't know if he's hurt again. They're putting the freshman back in, Hodge, coming in to play defense here in the last 40 seconds. So I guess maybe they'll try to get him back in for offense.
So Deshaun Smith goes to the bench. That free throw rolls and goes.
That was
74, 72, 41 seconds to play.
Yeah, used that screen to get Ertl off of him, but he wasn't able to finish.
The rebound hits the deck, controlled by Texas Southern. After the miss by Armstrong, he forced that last shot, one of the few he's done this year. Three-pointer in. Combs, my goodness, Combs, a man down low.
He just went up and got that one. There was everybody all around him. He just went after it.
The Warhawks can play for the final shot here. Shot clock is of no consequence.
He's trying to call. He's got Newman out here.
Puts it on the floor. Kicks it out to Munnings for 3. Online but long. The ball is on the floor. A traveling violation. 0.2 seconds remaining. Time to touch and shoot. Almost a tip. 0.2 seconds remaining, and I think we'll see the officials go to the table to try to determine the exact amount of time.
They will. They'll look at it. I'm not sure they knew what happened on the end. When he had the ball, they called the travel.
Ertl alertly saw that ball loose on the floor. Now, he had to be careful not to foul.
He did. He was after it. But they'll look at it. Now all they can do is just throw it up and just tip at it.
Munnings had an open 3. Watch Ertl right here. He tries to reach in, tries to swipe at it. Meanwhile, there was a little boot scoot by Hopkins on the floor. He was called for the traveling violation, and the officials will go to the
when his feet come up off the floor.
This will give a pretty good angle.
When his feet came up, I think that's his travel there.
So
he
they're
could
going
have
to
called it. He could have called it sooner.
I think they're going to put maybe 1/10, maybe 2/10 back on the floor, on the court.
He's going to come let us know.
0.5 seconds to the game clock. Game clock, 3 seconds, 0.7.
Actually, they're going to add
0.7.
half a second. So 0.7. You've got time to touch it and shoot right here.
Yes. They got to get it in and put it up in a hurry.
Otherwise, we will play a little lanyap basketball.
You got to throw it.
That's going to be the end of regulation.
See, that's where
as
that
ULM
ball.
was unable
Right.
to create a shot with 0.7 of a second remaining.
Yeah, Postman should have been able to back up and get a bounce pass and go up with it. That was a great pass right there that we talked about earlier.
Combs has been phenomenal in the second half. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 of his 25 have come in the second half. 5 minutes of bonus basketball next.
Our tech and our tools, we make your life easier because we get it. Some things are bigger than banking.
This was the play near the end of the game. Munnings took the 3, missed it. The rebound hit the floor. Traveling violation was called with 0.7 of a second left. ULM was unable to launch a shot on the throw-in, and we've got bonus basketball right now. 5 extra minutes from Fant Ewing Coliseum.
The Tigers
Armstrong 26 points, Combs 25 to lead the Tigers. Ertl has 16, Munnings with 15, Newman with 10. Right now for ULM, and a floater by Jones is good. That's his first bucket, and that's the first lead in a long, long time for Texas Southern.
Well, he took it straight in there and was looking for it. He wanted it.
Ertl can't get the 3 to go. This is a very critical defensive opportunity for ULM right here.
It is. That's one of the first good looks that Ertl has had.
Look at the
that
defense.
freshman come up with it then.
Fantastic defense by Hodge. And then Ertl has it stripped from behind. Back to Combs. He's alone for the flush.
Little too big a hurry to take care of it. You know, they did a good job of getting it and then just didn't take care of it on the other end.
So ULM had an opportunity after a terrific defensive play, but then gave it right back up. And it was costly. 78-74. Newman puts it on the floor. Kicks it back out to Ertl. 7 to shoot. Shot clock at 4. Ertl pumps the 3. No. Rebound Munnings. He saved it. Newman back to Munnings. He'll take a 3. Got it! Got it! Got it! That was huge.
That was a big 3. You know,
Texas Southern still leads by 1.
You know, they've got all of their players. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now. I said, Ertl's having to work so hard on defense and offense, it makes it tough.
And a sweet little jumper kissed off the window from 7 feet by Ewing.
Yeah, Ewing.
That's his first bucket since the first half.
Yeah, he just goes up and he made a good move and finished it.
2:50 to play.
See, you know, Newman is not used to penetrating unless he can finish it.
Munnings online, but a little bit long. And the Warhawks trail 80-77. That's stripped out of the hands of the dribbler Butler, but then it was deflected off of a Warhawk. I think Munnings touched it last.
All right, so Deshaun Smith is coming back in the game now.
He replaces Jalen Hodge. 20 on the shot clock. 2.5 remains in overtime.
And they keep the ball in Armstrong's hand. He's coming off of a double screen this time. He really wants to penetrate.
Texas Southern has played a couple of overtime games this year. They've won 1 and lost 1. And there's some strong play down low by Ewing. Right now, Texas Southern is cutting up the Warhawks inside.
Yeah, they just taking advantage of the guys with the foul. They go into them. they're just not being able to put enough pressure on them to keep them from getting it in there.
Texas Southern played UNO, the University of New Orleans, in the first round of the tournament. And it was an overtime game in New Orleans, won by Texas Southern. So this is their second overtime game in 3 collegeinsider.com tournament experiences.
Well, as we've mentioned several times, they've been on the road a lot of times, and they're 12 and 10 on the road, so they've won more on the road than they've lost.
It's a 2-possession game right now. The Warhawks really need a bucket of some sort. Smith was obviously bumped on his way down the right side of the lane.
Yeah, he was trying to get to the basket, and that's what, instead of settling for the 3, they're trying to get in there. He still looks like he's
a little stiff-legged,
carrying that right leg a little bit.
He was troubled with cramps.
You know, it's 5 points now, so every point's going to count, and every possession's going to count.
86% from the stripe. 3 for 3 tonight now. John Jones returns to the lineup for Texas Southern.
You know,
big free throw coming.
Jones and Armstrong have took care of that ball, and they've done a great job defensively tonight.
Smith bags both free throws. It's a 1-possession game. Less than 2 minutes remain.
So they're going to come down and either try to get it inside. They got that double screen coming up at the top.
They've worked Ewing down low. They've worked Combs down low. Jump shot baseline. Good by John Jones. A quick release, a confident shot. He's got 6 points all since intermission.
You see, they come off that double screen. One of them steps out. One of them goes to the basket. And then, of course, that time Jones just beat his man and took it and pulled up and hit that little jumper.
This is almost a must-score possession for ULM. Newman puts it on the floor, gets down low, kicks it back. Munnings for 3. Open look. Off defensive rebound, pulled off by Butler. And that was a very costly empty possession for the Warhawks.
Yeah, Munnings is like 2 for 10 right now from the 3. You know, they've got to make something happen pretty quick.
60 seconds to go. 84-79.
See, they've got to have some help. One of those post defenders has got to step out and help. Ertl can't get through 2 screens. He's got to have some help on that.
Armstrong has 28 points. Combs has 27.
Smith
That's
just hits
huge.
a 3 and gets fouled.
That's tremendous by Smith. Gimpy-legged Deshaun Smith could be playing in his final game in a ULM uniform. And he's trying to make a 4-point play out of it and bring this to a 1-possession game. He's 4 for 4 from the line. He just hit a couple. Offensive rebound, tipped out to Ertl. Ertl takes it inside, hangs and lays it in. Michael Ertl got to the rim. Michael Ertl, amongst taller players, he is fouled right there and is able to put it in. My goodness, this could be a 1-point game. A 3-point play from Michael Ertl.
How many times does a missed free throw turn out good for you?
17 for Ertl. 86-85. Texas Southern by a scant point.
Yeah, they're going to come off those double screens again. Those defensive postmen have got to help some right here. Ertl cannot get through those. He almost needs to go behind them.
Shot clock at 7. Double team out front. Combs will take it. That is not the shot Texas Southern wanted. I was astonished when Jeremy Combs took that shot. Smith takes it down into a defender. He lost it out of bounds.
Now we got it. The other officials going.
Smith was looking for the foul.
His leg's locked up on him again.
That left leg is not functioning properly. Let's take a look. Was there contact for the foul? This is Smith. I don't think so. That ball was loose. There was a little bit of a contact right there between Ewing and Smith. They're going to look at it to see who touched it last.
Yeah, they were arm to arm early, but it looked like when he stripped it, it come down and went off of his leg.
6 seconds to play.
That was the shot they were looking for. They wanted to get him going to the basket, come up with a penetration and a score, or a foul, or a bucket and a foul. That was what the whole thing was designed for. He wasn't going to settle for a three.
It's been like a riptide in here for 45 minutes.
This crowd's on their feet, and they've got their money's worth tonight.
This game has gone back and forth like a grandfather clock pendulum. One side, the other side, non-stop ebb and flow.
And to think you thought at one time a 14-point lead might be safe.
This is tighter than the top string on a Texas fiddle with 6 seconds to go. And a critical review to see who's got possession. If it's going to go to the Tigers, the Warhawks have one option only, and that's to try for the steal and get a foul immediately.
They've got to get the ball and or foul.
Now it would be a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Tigers at the free throw line.
Coach Jones just called a timeout.
The Warhawks have committed 8 fouls, Mike, so they've got they won't put the Tigers into the double bonus.
Confirmed 6.5.
They were looking at the time on the clock, 6.5.
And they also confirmed that the ball was touched last by the Warhawks.
Yes.
That's good officiating.
Yeah.
They got a foul here, and Ertl does. 4.6 on the clock.
They should have got him as soon as he got the ball inside, but he got away.
But here's the thing. This is 1-and-1 for Armstrong. Even if he makes them both, we've still got a one-possession
This is one
game.
possession. They've got 4.6 seconds to get down the floor and get a shot.
That's enough time to dribble it into front court. Tyreek Armstrong has been beyond phenomenal tonight. 28 points, 29 points for a fellow who's averaging 6.5.
Well, he's played with an awful lot of confidence tonight. He's just come in and done everything he wanted to do, from handling the ball defensively and offensively.
Looking for his 30th point.
Entering for the Tigers, number 32,
4.6 seconds to go.
Warhawks.
88-85 with Mike Vining. I'm Len Rollins. Mike, you were on the sidelines for 400-plus victories, 8 postseason tournament appearances, countless practices. How do you draw upon those practice sessions with 4, 5, 6 seconds left, the length of the court to go? What do you think this Warhawk team will do right here?
Well, I don't know. I used to try to save 2 timeouts, and I'd throw the ball to half court and call timeout. Now we had it at half court with the same amount of time on the clock. I don't know if Coach Richard's got that or has worked on it. That's something that we worked on. But you can go to the end and back in 9 seconds, so they got plenty of time to come down and get a shot. Of course, you're going to have a defender on you, and Armstrong has given Ertl fits. I don't know who will be on Smith, or even if Smith will be the one handling the ball, because he is a little gimpy with that left leg right now, as we mentioned earlier.
4.6 seconds remain. ULM does have a pair of timeouts still to use.
Fans, don't forget baseball in action tomorrow.
If they could get the ball thrown to half court and call timeout, then you get half court with the same amount of time. But that's kind of difficult just to draw up at a timeout. That's something you have to have in your play the whole time. You know, some people, now I never was into it, but some people now would say, well, when they get down here with a time that's out, just foul them, and then they can only go shoot 2 free throws.
This is Ertl. He's going to bring it into front court. Ertl has it stripped away. He's going to have to shoot from 40 feet. Got it! Got it! Got it!
Can you believe it? Can you believe that? Well, that's usually to win a game. That's just to tie it up and have a chance to play 5 more minutes.
There will be a review bucket by Ertl. More than 6,000 people come to life. Ertl going up from nearly 40 feet. Yes! A legend is made at ULM. We will look at it again. Clearly it left the hand before the end of regulation, at the end of the game. Ertl drops one home from just a step or two inside midcourt. 88 apiece. Truly March Madness. It's loco in here.
And I tell you what, the cameramen did a great job of getting that shot far so officials and everybody else could see that that shot was good. There's those 6,000 people enjoying this game.
Look for that shot to show up on some national highlights.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. But as I mentioned earlier, usually you look for that shot to win the game, not to have to start all over and play 5 more minutes. But right now, Coach Richard will take anything so that his season doesn't end.
The wackiness continues in postseason.
You know, the officials have done a great job of communicating with us and let us know what's going on so we could inform the people that are watching or listening.
This is the first overtime game for the Warhawks this year. Texas Southern has played 2. They've won 1. They've lost 1. They won 1 in overtime in the first round of the tournament at UNO.
Hey, and tell any one of these guys in this whole arena that this tournament is not important.
Ertl defending. Armstrong has to give it up. 3-ball left side. Oh, yes. Butler. 52 of them now. 53 of them for the season. He's had 2 since intermission. This is a guy who did not score in the first half. He's been held to 6, but that was a tremendously important 3. Newman survives the bump, and they blow the whistle, and Newman's going to be at the free throw line.
He did a good job of taking it to the goal. He wasn't able to finish it, but he's getting to the free throw line with him.
That's the second foul on John Jones. Newman, 72.7 at the stripe. That's costly.
Wasn't able to get that one to go.
He has not scored since he produced 10 critical points in the first half off the bench.
Yeah, every point's going to count. You know, right now when they lead off with a 3, you know, you've got to respond some way or other. It's difficult to come up empty. One is a help, but right now every possession, turnover, rebound will magnify the whole rest of this school year for these guys.
ULM is 14 of 20 from the from the free throw line. Texas Southern is 15 for 17. Munnings for 3 in the lead. In and out. That one got a piece of the front rim on the way down, then kicked off the back rim and exited the bucket.
That's one of the better spots that he's had to take that shot.
Ewing again down low. And that play by Ewing and Combs since the end of the first half has been devastating against the Warhawks. They have had very few answers for that pair.
Well, ULM is just not as tough in there. They're kind of long, but they're thin, and they keep a hand on them. See, Combs is making it tough on him right there.
He blocks it out of the hands of Munnings. The crowd wanted to travel.
They did.
93-89 with 3 minutes and some change remaining in the second overtime.
See, he was able to stay right there with him and then just go up with him. He didn't get him off of his feet. You know, they're going to leave Combs outside and let him shoot out there maybe to try to keep him from getting inside.
This for 3. Rebound down low by Washington. A big defensive rebound for the Warhawks. Washington give and go, lays it in.
Washington
fundamental basketball, and it was effectively produced by the Warhawks.
It was 2.5 minutes left to go here with this one now.
Hang on, everybody. Left-handed looper up. Combs had his hands on it for the moment. It's going to be the Warhawks basketball.
You know, Armstrong finally missed one, but Combs got a hand on it, and he lost it. The official under the basket didn't see it, so he's conferring to see.
And I think that the side official got it right, but they will go review tape. But I think this is going to stay with the Warhawks. At least that's the way we thought we saw it live. Here's the miss. It's a pretty good looking shot. It just came up way short. He got a good look at it.
Yeah, you just couldn't see there where the camera was blocked out.
Let's see who touched it last on the rebound attempt. It goes over the end line.
Yeah, I think Armstrong wanted to make. He went in there to pass, I think, and they didn't drop off and hit him. See, Washington didn't go get him. He stayed back a little bit.
All right, Combs has it here. Well, I don't know. I think this is going to be reversed now.
Yeah, him and Deshaun. Deshaun might have knocked it out of his hand. Now, Deshaun didn't touch it again, but it looked like he knocked it out of his hand.
I thought Combs might have touched it last, but that last replay, I believe, clearly showed it's going to stay with the Tigers. There has been no quarter given in this game. Both of these teams have come out with heavyweight punches for regulation, one overtime, and now we are in overtime number 2.
There's 2 young ladies not worried about how much time's left in the game, but they'll probably sleep well tonight.
How about a little tidbit right here, just for the folks tuning in across the country? This ULM school has 29 national championships. 29 in what sport?
Water skiing.
You know.
Water skiing.
29 national championships in water skiing. And if you've ever seen gorgeous Bayou Désert, which divides this campus, one of the most scenic campuses anywhere, and that's where they do a lot of practicing. It's quite the sport here.
Oh, there's people come from all over the country, matter of fact, all over the world. Well, it looks like it's staying with ULM. There wasn't enough evidence to tell on the monitor. They're staying with the call on the floor.
So I think the Warhawks caught a break right there.
I do too. It looked like you might not have could have tell whether Combs touched it or not, but Deshaun knocked it out of his hand. And see, now they're setting a double screen at the top 2, trying to get Armstrong.
Ertl takes
off
it low.
Of Ertl.
Offensive rebound.
Washington
but no
got
finish by Washington.
Washington got it, just couldn't finish. You know,
that would have tied it, and that's one of the better opportunities that the Warhawks are going to have in this overtime. Overtime number 2. This for 3. Finally a miss from Armstrong. And it will go back to the Warhawks. 1:48 to go. 108 seconds remain in the second overtime.
Well, Armstrong is human tonight.
Barely.
Yes. But he has played a tremendous game, and I got to tell you, on both ends of the floor. He's done a great job defensively, too. I know Coach Jones will be proud of him.
Who's going to blink here?
Well, it's going to be tough.
The Warhawks have a chance to tie or take the lead with this possession.
You know, I think they could use J.D. Williams right now in this game just for his athletic ability around the basket, either to penetrate or to cut. Newman is not cut the way
spinning,
he does.
Hanging, rams it home. What a big bucket by Brandon Newman. His first bucket since the first half when he came off the bench and pumped home 10.
So he says, what did you say I couldn't do?
93 each. Brandon Newman, the latest hero for ULM. Let's take a timeout. Take a deep breath, everybody. We've got a sensational finish coming your way. 73 seconds remain in the quarterfinal round of the CollegeInsiders.com tournament. We are in overtime number 2.
Unique experience for any sports fan. The Fieldhouse Bar and Grill, Highway 165 North and Loop Road, just 2.5 miles north of I-20 in Monroe.
There's acid burning in the bellies of just about everybody in this building. It has been one of those games. 93 each, overtime number 2.
Well, we played, what, 50-something minutes here, almost 50 minutes, and we're right where we started, tied up.
73 seconds remain.
Well, they're still using those double screens at the top.
Newman
got that miss, and then Newman's able to come up with it.
Armstrong.
Coach Richard's calling a play over there now. I don't know what he called for. I don't know what that is. But
this is Newman, who's assumed the point guard position recently. Didn't get that one enough on the window.
Now he got that out in one hand too quick. I think he was trying to protect the ball instead of trying to make sure he finished with the score.
Oh, that's pumped in. A strong move.
Butler finished strong.
Yep, and that's his first 2-point bucket. He was shut out in the first half. Couple of threes in the second half, and that was his first 2-point bucket. It unties the knot for the moment. 93-90, 20 seconds and counting.
See, they had Combs picked up
Munnings
Smith
right here. Lays it in. Yep. Munnings ties it at 95. 10 seconds to play. Armstrong working on Ertl. Ertl's picked off. Armstrong still has it. Kicks it out for the win. No! Yes! We go to another overtime.
Again. Now we're going again. We're going to have to pass the hat and take another collection. Well, I don't think any of them, either team has had 3 overtimes.
This was a very low-scoring overtime period.
You know, Texas Southern average is right around 80 a game. In the last few games, they've been 82, 85, something like that. So now
they've been more than that. They've been in that 90 range.
Right. Now at 95.
Both teams scored 14 points in the first overtime, but found points hard to come by in the second overtime.
You know, just looking at the rebounds, ULM is still, they've got 41-40 in the rebounds. Assists 18-15. The Tigers are shooting 48%, and ULM is shooting 44.7 from the field for the whole game.
Well, it was Ertl who, a step beyond half court, hit the jumper for 3 just ahead of the horn at the end of the first overtime. It was Munnings on the last ULM possession in the second overtime who was able to spin his way to the goal and lay it high off the window for the bucket. Remember, Munnings has been playing with 4 fouls for what, 30 minutes now?
For a long time, and then they were come up with a big stop. There's the president. He's ready for him to keep playing too. President Nick Bruno, he's done a tremendous job here at ULM, bringing that new medical school in here.
Each team had 7 points in the second overtime. 14 in the first overtime.
Okay, here we go. Southern gets a tip again, and of course it goes to Armstrong.
Armstrong has had a stupendous night.
You know, he's got Hodge. Coach Richard's got
that's
Hodge.
Good defense by Newman. Newman was right there with the shooter. He came up and down and was unable to get the shot away. Watch Newman work defensively.
Oh, so he's a big guard. He helps him out. Coach Richard likes him. He puts him in there for his size. You know, they've got Jalen Hodge back in, the freshman. I guess Smith had to come out again. They're saving him, get him as much breast as he can. If he had been cramping in the regular time, you can imagine what it's like now.
Munnings, in traffic. Got it up too hard and too high.
Well, they didn't have Combs on the Munnings that time, so I thought he might be able to get in there and make a little more, make a bigger push for the basket.
95 each, so that's a strong move and a ram home off the window by Ewing. When Ewing gets it right there, he's pretty much unstoppable.
He swings that ball around, and if he makes contact with you, you'll feel it. But he's got the ball with it, and he's going to the goal. Ertl was kind of playing around that half-court line there, and the official backed up to take a better look at it.
Ertl pulls up, takes the 15-foot jumper from the elbow, and a rebound foul called on Washington. That's his third foul.
Yeah, he was trying to tip the ball out. He went up to tip it back out, and they already had the hand on it, so it just knocked it out of it. Knocked Combs down with it.
Washington had 2 fouls very early in the game, sat out a while, but that's the first foul he's incurred since about 7 or 8 minutes into the game in the first half.
It was Lumpkins that had the ball. I thought it was Combs, but Lumpkins is the one that had it. Yeah, Deshaun's back in the game now for Jalen.
No matter what this free throw does, it's still a 1-possession game. 3:52 left in the third overtime. This ball tipped around, touched last by
Ewing.
Eden Ewing.
Yes, Ewing kept it alive. I mean, he was right there with it.
So Smith now will assume the point guard position. Brandon Newman had been at point guard. They'll give it up to Ertl. This is Newman. Ertl, quick release 3. Missed it badly to the left side.
That was
Mike,
one.
There have been a couple of occasions here in the extra periods where ULM has not been wise with the basketball.
No, that's one Ertl can hit, but it wouldn't have hurt him to have run on the clock a little bit more, try to get a better look.
Well, Ewing backs up and bags his first 3. Guess what? That's only his 4th of the season.
That's what I'm saying. I can't believe he even took the 3.
He was 3 for 9 from beyond the arc the whole year. Munnings, yes. Munnings. They're going to confer to see if this is a continuation bucket. Yes, count the bucket.
They gave him the basket.
This is a much-needed free throw. Combs was called for the foul. That's his 4th.
That's his 4th. You know, Travis just got by him, and he just laid that elbow into him, trying to push him off balance so he couldn't score.
Well, evidently they didn't count the bucket.
Didn't.
I thought they had signaled that the bucket was good.
I did too, but evidently they didn't.
Back to a 1-possession game. 100-97.
Yeah, when the official made his motion, I thought he counted it. I guess he meant that he got hit when he went with his fist.
$100-97.
And it's still a 1-possession game.
Coming up on the 2.5-minute mark. Oh, that's slick. Butler has been a factor since he did not score in the first half.
Well, he took that to the goal strong.
Smith, nice feed down low. Kick out to Newman. Ertl from the corner. Yes! Michael Ertl with his 3rd 3. He's got 80 on the season, the sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana.
That cuts it to 2 with 2 minutes to go.
We've been riding the roller coaster for more than 50 minutes. Ertl doing his best. Tipped away by Newman. Good help defense.
Not able to come up with it.
The 3 in the air, tipped around, kept alive, and finally claimed by Washington with some help. ULM got in a hurry. Are they going to hold on to the ball? Got people down everywhere.
Boy, Ewing was just looked like he was all over Munnings trying to come up with the ball. He had his hand on the ball, looked like, or trying to get his hand on the ball as he was leaning into him.
Travis Munnings was the most valuable player in the opening round game, a victory by ULM against Kent State.
He came up with 28 points. I don't remember his rebounds. He had like 9 rebounds. He was just all over the floor. You know, this is a big possession right here. If they'd come up with the ball. Yep. Looked like Ewing was going to get it there at one time.
Newman will trigger it. 23 on the shot clock. So that's not a factor.
See, Travis is staying outside to pull Combs out there. But he needs to come out there and then go back.
ULM throws it away. A critical unforced error.
Yeah, I think Andre was just getting rid of it. He thought Ertl was going to break open or break out to get it. I think Ertl was trying to set his man up to go back door.
So Ertl and Washington cannot connect. Andre Washington threw it away. 85 seconds and counting.
So they're going to spread it out now and just let Armstrong handle the ball.
A 2-point game in favor of the Tigers. Looking to get into the semifinals. Ewing, fadeaway, got it. Oh, he's been good. He's been very good down low in the last 15 minutes or so.
You know, every single time it looks like they need a basket, a different person picks it up. After Armstrong kind of cooled off a little bit, all of a sudden Ewing is doing it all now.
This is a huge possession for the Warhawks. Smith, and a blocking foul call. That's going to be the 5th on Combs.
Yeah, he was taking a chance out there on the ball, but it's 52 seconds.
So Combs fouls out deep into the 3rd overtime with 27 points. Mike, he got off to a slow start, but he finishes with 27 and certainly was as good as previously advertised.
He finished strong, but you know, the thing that stands out, you know, all those other guys, Ewing stepped up. They've all been stepping up for him. Well, it's to be a one possession whether he makes it or not, but then they got to look at what they're going to do with the time left.
Deshaun Smith, 17 now. He's been hobbled tonight with cramps. Playing as best he can when he can.
You know, Ertl's got his hands full trying to stay in front of Armstrong, and he's been able to do it.
That's tipped out.
Armstrong tipped it out, missed it and tipped it out, and they still have the ball. ULM was just unable to come up with it, so now they've got a new clock with got 21 seconds on the shot clock.
Armstrong has more moves than a Bourbon Street Wriggler.
Then they wound up having to foul him because the time was the same.
79% at the stripe, 4 for 4 tonight. There are a lot of choices for this game's most valuable player, but if I had to make a choice, it would be right now this guy at the free throw line.
He has done an awful lot of good for him on both ends of the floor. You know, not only is he handled the ball,
it's a 2-possession game now.
Yeah.
21 seconds to go.
Yeah, they've got to score quick.
Ertl kicks it out. It's fumbled away.
He lost control of it going to the basket.
Butler on the flush, and that is going to be a very, very costly turnover.
Yeah, that
Warhawks down by 6. Nothing to do but shoot the 3. Munnings, it rims out. Rebound picked up by Texas Southern. 4 seconds left, 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, 1 second left. Texas Southern in 3 overtimes has defeated the Warhawks 108-102. What a ball game. What a ball game.
It was a game they both came to play. They left it all out on the floor. You couldn't ask for a better game.
So 3 times Texas Southern has gone on the road in this tournament. They've been involved in overtimes twice. They've won everything. This Texas Southern team was very resilient, Mike Vining. It came from 14 back when it appeared the Warhawks were ready to move on in regulation.
And they did it from a lot of different people. They didn't go with Combs. They did all the other things.
We'll take a break and be back to put a bow on it. Texas Southern ends the Warhawks season 108-102 before a tremendous crowd of better than 6,000 in Monroe.
So call the number on your screen or visit our website to enroll online.
There was 15 minutes of bonus basketball in 3 overtimes. Texas Southern moves on 108-102 with Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame coach Mike Vining, who won over 400 games in this building and beyond as a coach here at ULM. I'm Lynn Rollins. Mike, we could not have had a better quarterfinal game. This thing had everything. Comebacks by both teams. Tremendous heart on the court today by both Texas Southern, who wins for the 3rd time on the road in the tournament, and also ULM.
They have, and players that contributed, that came through, like Armstrong for them, that hadn't been scoring a lot, averaged 6 a game, got maybe 30 tonight, and it just happened all throughout both teams. It was a tremendous game. That gives them 23 wins now.
Well, Armstrong scored 32 points. This is a guy who's averaging 6.5 on the year. Marshall has advanced over Presbyterian. Hampton got a win over New Jersey Technical. Texas Southern, of course, advances in a triple overtime victory. And the only other semifinal entrant will be Cal State, Bakersfield, or also Green Bay. A couple of other superlatives. Jeremy Combs, 27 points, 11 rebounds for Texas Southern. Ewing, 23 points and 11 rebounds. He was a huge factor in the second half and in overtime.
Yeah, he was always around the basket. You know, they just went after the ball. They kept the ball alive. If they didn't have it, they got it to somebody else. They did great passing, and they took the shots that they wanted to take.
Well, Deshaun Smith and Michael Ertl were big offensively. And also Travis Munnings, 22 points and 10 rebounds. He closes out his ULM career with yet another double-double.
He's done it for 4 years. He's been a tremendous asset to the ULM program and Coach Richard.
So ULM's season ends in postseason in the quarterfinal round, and Texas Southern moves on as one of 4 teams remaining in the tournament. A triple overtime victory, 108-102. That's the final from ULM. We thank you for joining us here with postseason basketball, truly March Madness.